Bubu kaftan with Ankara circle patches. It has a two-side pocket and a slit, two-side slit, and also cut together sleeve. On this tutorial, I will show you how I achieved this beautiful design. I made a cap together with it. This cap is reversible cap. You can see that you can wear that both ways. I'll drop the link of this on the description box below. If you're interested, you can watch that. But this design is what we are going to make today. Let's get to it. Okay, welcome back. These are the material for this tutorial: strap fabric that we're gonna use for this, and the pieces of Ankara fabric, leftover Ankara fabric we're gonna use for the circle patches. Here is the paper stiff feasible interface, and this is material we are using. This is how I fold it: 2.5 yards of fabric. It comes in 60 inches length, first fold and second fold to achieve this. And the length we are using for this is 57 inches length for this gown. You can see the four folds here. I've gone ahead and draw a starting line, marking 3 inches for my neck width. When I'm done with that, I'll mark 1 inch for my back neck depth, connect it. The next one is the front neck depth that we're going to mark now. We're using 7.5 inches for the front neck depth. Okay, and when I'm done with that, I'll slant my ruler to connect it. This is V-shape design. And next thing is 1.5 inches for our shoulder slant, marking 8 inches for half of my shoulder. Then the next one, I'm gonna use the remaining sleeve length here. I wanted to add 2 inches there for another design, but I changed my mind to make it up to 15 inches length, but I leave it the way it is and go ahead and connect the slope, marking 11 inches for the sleeve opening and rule out a line. So here's the vertical measurement. From shoulder to my hip is 26 inches, which I rule out a line across it. At that point, I'll have to mark my hip measurement, quarter of my hip plus 3 inches and 1 inch for the joining allowance. When I'm done without the total of it, which is 15 about, I have to take it to the hem part and mark it and connect line upward like so. Marking the next one 15 inches for the slit, the two side slit, and mark it there is where my stitches will end for easy movement. Next one is to cut out. At this point, I'm marking 0.5 inches for the joining allowance for the shoulder. Go ahead and cut. But before then, I went in by 1 inch here and slant it. It's optional for my sleeve part. Here, I'm marking half of half length plus 1 inch, that's 18 inches length, where my pocket will sit. So next one we're going to do now is to mark 6 inches for this pocket opening. When I'm done with that, I'll connect the line like so, and we're almost there. So the next one we're going to do now is go ahead and cut the back neck depth first, and go ahead and cut the rest of this. As I'm doing that, I would like you to watch as I'm cutting that. Carefully cut it like so, and when I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and then complete my pocket length letter, not the two sides. As you can see, I'm separating the back bodies from the front bodies, so I can be able to cut the front body's neck like you see me do. Here is the front bodies and here is the back bodies. Okay, next I'm showing you here, I'm cutting the same another fabric body, is a raw silk fabric. I'm gonna make the same design. That is what we see me doing, but this tutorial is about the strap fabric that we're making, and let's get to this. I've gone ahead and cut out the facing for the front part. What I did here, I went to my overlock machine and I concealed the edges for neat finishing, placing it like so before stitching that. The width I use here is 3 inches. I'll use my hemming gun for the neat finishing. I did the same thing to the back side, 3 inches for the inner facing back bodies. I'll start stitching that. I use the hemming gun and flip it over and stitch it. And next thing I did here, I'll go ahead, let me show you how I extend my pocket 5 inches length, and I went ahead and add the pieces like so to complete my pocket length. You can see that I did that using my overlock machine to conceal the edges for neat finishing. All the 4 parts of this pocket, I extended the pocket length. Okay, I did the same thing to the other parts as well. Next is the Ankara patches, which you see me showing you. I have about 5 pieces of it. Okay, the next one I'm going to do now, I ended up using only 2 pieces of this because I used that to design the reversible cap I showed you earlier, one we're going to use for this tutorial. And let's start cutting. The next thing we're going to do now, you can use a plate, trace it, a round plate, and trace your circle shape, or you use this method which I'm showing you. I'm going ahead and cut out the paper stay for this, the rectangle shape, so we can work on this, get the round shape here. Next thing we're going to do is place it like so, fold it, the first fold. After that, you fold the second fold. Then at this point, place your tape and take the round measurement like I'm showing you. Then after that, you go ahead and cut it out. When you open it up, you will see the shape circle that you need for this. Go ahead and use it and cut out our pieces. Okay. The next one I'm showing you right now is the paper interface. Here's the feasible interface. We are gonna use it to fuse these patches that I'm showing you. The one I cut out, the sticking part of this paper still facing up. Then the round part of this patches will be down. So it will be on opposite side. They'll have to place it like so. After that, you go ahead and iron it, and that's it. This is the way it should be after the whole thing. I went ahead and cut it out. You can see the neat finishing already. Even without placing that on your gown, is looking neat. And what did I do next? I went to my weaving machine and concealed the edges like so. Let me bring it up for you to see that clearly. I concealed the edges using overlocking machine to that for neat finishing. If you don't have a weaving machine, the next option is to use bias tape, which I'm showing you. And the picture you're seeing on the screen, that's the way it will be. After stitching, you stop stitch, and that's how the result will be. Very neat. And next thing, I've gone ahead and stitch the inner facing for the front bodies as well as the back bodies. Okay, before joining the whole thing together, we'll go ahead and work on the front bodies for the patches. Let's go there. After that, and look at the way you can place it like so. Very beautiful. This is the time for you to use that design you have in you. Just place it the way you want and it will turn out beautiful. Like you see the way I'm placing mine. Doesn't have a pattern how you're gonna place it to achieve this. Do it the way you want it and the result will come out beautiful. And after placing that, the next thing I did here is to, with the help of my hemming gum, I have to bring my hemming gum and place it underneath the whole circle shape you're seeing the patches. That will help it a lot from not shifting if you are stitching that on your machine. Okay, put all underneath like so, round edges, make sure you should be around edges. Iron it very well to fix it and stitch it first round the edges outside before stitching the inside, but I'll show you how to do that anyway. If you don't have a hemming gum, you can make use of your pins. Fold it very well, but I advise you to use hemming gum. It will help a lot for neat finishing. Here I am stitching the edges first. You can see how I'm doing that. I want to make this tutorial a detailed tutorial for you to learn how to stitch the whole of this. Okay, it's very easy to make, very simple gown. And next thing I will do here, after completing the stitching the edges, I'll go ahead and continue stitching the inside seam. You can see how I'm joining that. That will appear neat and flat finishing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do now is to join our front bodies and back bodies together, and that's it. I have already used my hemming gun for the inner facing, and also hem the sleeve part. Okay, after that I join the two sides of this, also hem the down part, and that's it. Our gown is beautiful, looking very neat and flat. I like that. Next thing we're going to do to show you now, you can see the pocket part of it. You can see the pocket, and also I've hemmed the side slit. And we are done for this tutorial. If you find it helpful, share my video, and I thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next time on next video. Bye bye for now.